Welcome back, local frenemies. 757 Talk here. This week's episode is brought to you by Financial Planners United. You know why it's provided by, sponsored by them? Because you gotta know your budget. All right, we have some drama this week because of budget issues. Let's roll right to it.
So we need a soundboard. We have Chris over here.
I know, right? A little crack on the high voice there. But what is with the drama with the Fab?
Yeah. So for those not in the league, what has happened is we switched to the SleeperBot app. We were on ESPN before, and unfortunately, there's so many different settings that you have to change that I missed one of them, and that was our budget for our Fab. Now we're kind of a weird league. Traditionally, it's $100 for your Fab. We were scared of Fab when we first went to it, so we went to $400 was our budget, which is a lot of money.
A lot.
And so I don't know why, but I had in my head that we had switched it to 200 to kind of get closer to the average. And I set it as 200, and I didn't realize that we were at 400 last year. So there was some confusion.
Shame.
So what ended up happening was there was a few people who did not realize the change had happened, and so they bid according to a $400 budget instead of a $200 budget. And so they're a little upset. But Ryan has a response for them.
Go.
Suck it up, gentlemen. It says 200 right there when you go to get a player. It says, how much of your $200 would you like to spend, good sir? Question mark.
So he's like, read first.
So
I suggest reading and observing. Those skills are going to take you outside of fantasy. That's going to take you into life.
So Ryan's kind of being a little ridiculous here, but I've talked to several people, and a lot of people were not aware that we were switching to 200 until they did waivers this week, and then they saw that, and very clearly it says, how much of your $200 budget do you want to bid? So as much as, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, make this an issue for you.
Yeah.
You kind of had to just read what was in front of you. That's kind of the sentiment I've gotten from everybody else. It looks like it might just be Andy and Tim that did not see that $200.
Dropping the names.
So I'm sorry, guys. We can, we're going to talk more about this. I'm not saying it's case closed. We're not changing anything.
It's a fluke because these guys are smart gentlemen. They are. They are very smart, but both of them have, one of them has one offspring, the other has at least 3 offspring. And I hear that when you start having offspring,
you become wiser.
Your sleep goes down.
Oh, okay. You
cannot
excuses.
function as
Sleep-deprived men
and
cannot make fantasy claims.
That are right there in front of you in plain sight.
Well, we go from
So yeah, hit us up, guys, in the chat. I know those 2 guys I haven't specifically talking to. We need to, come up with
doctor. The other one's an IT guy. I mean, they're smart dudes. It's just the reading needs work. Just the reading. Everything else is great.
Oh man. Well, Commish, let's go on here. We got anything else we need? We got some more things to address here. But what's our next thing off the Fab here?
Okay, so not about the Fab anymore. We had somebody who dominated our league this week, and his name is Leroyce. And we've got somebody here who might need to issue an apology for last week. We had power rankings, and he was at the bottom of the power rankings and an F by Mr. Chris Schoenrock.
Oh, so cue sad music in my dear John. My apologies letter to Leroyce. The letter F that I gave you for your draft grade stood for fantastic, fabulous, fun, freaking amazing.
This doesn't sound like an apology, Chris.
That's my excuse, but I'm so sorry. Leroyce, dinner rolls from the bottom of my heart. I love you, bud. And I'm eating crow. I got you this week.
I was going to say, who do you play this week?
Oh, I play you. So I don't know if you pull it up.
On the SleeperBot, he's a taunter.
He's such a taunter.
He's the first to start taunting.
It's true.
And out of week 1, my team's already limping out of the start. Now I got to go against a guy who has an agenda against my grade I gave him. So, Loris, please have mercy.
So for the guys who aren't in our league here, I'm going to run down our standings just to let you know what happened this week. We got, obviously half the league lost, half the league won. The way that we do it, you actually get another additional. Yeah, that is how it works.
The NFL,
you get an additional half a win if you get the top half scores in the league. So it's kind of like that incentive in case you had a really bad matchup, then you have a chance to get that half a win. We had pretty much everything went chalk. The winners were Leroyce, Joe, me, David won his game, Morgan won his game, your brother Mike won his game, and so we all have one win. David was the only one who didn't get in that top 6, so he's sitting at one win alone. And then we all have 1.5 wins. And then the rest of the league, Tim was the one who took David's spot in that top 6, and he was able to get that extra half a win. And then you have the losers in Chris,
At the bottom.
Ryan, Phil, Daniel, Andy. And then Tim did end up losing his game. He just had a hard matchup this week.
Oh, yeah. David and I had the toilet bowl.
Yes, the toilet bowl was going on there. You guys were racing to the finish there.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was some craziness. And we talked about the fab thing, but we already got a lot of action going on the waiver wire.
Yep.
$80 on Jimmy Graham.
Yes.
I know you love him, Andy, but
Supposed to be 40.
I mean, I know you were working the 400 to 200 ratio. Maybe we give $40 back there. But I'm like, wow, that's a lot of love for Jimmy Graham.
You should be punished for even going in for him. Now, I understand Andy's psyche here. He used to always grab Graham in his golden days in like the first or second round. I think it was first. Like Andy and I bond over our love for tight ends.
Yeah.
And when he sees signs of life, I did the same thing. I was at the Y working at my wellness desk, and I looked over at the TV and I saw Graham catch that touchdown. And I was like, "You son of a gun!" But later, I looked on Roto World and it was like 30 yards and 1 touchdown, and I was like, I can't do it again. Because most weeks it's just gonna be that 30 yards.
Oh,
So
man.
not to, pile on here, Andy, but the fun thing about the Sleeper app is we can go through and look at who bid on what and what their bids were.
Yep.
To make it real simple. Fortunately, there's not a total bids tab on yours because nobody else bid on Jimmy Graham.
Just
so
you.
I know it stings even more because no one else. You could have had him
Soul
for
juices.
$0.
I love to look at this. We had the highest
doing so good.
bid was for John Ross.
Yep.
And Joe gets him for $37. He's playing that Price is Right one upper type thing or
Yeah.
two upper, that little odd number there. I was like 37, not 35 or 30 or 40.
Yeah, he was the big ticket. I missed out on him. You did.
I
Daniel,
did, yep.
Mike did. Morgan did. We
then
all tried for him.
Hawkinson over at Detroit. I went after him. 5 guys went there. Again, $37 by Joe. And he packs up. He gets the 2 big guys off of, the wide receiver and tight end spot.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. So we got some. That's kind of our week in review there, so you guys can see what's going on in our league. We're gonna have to settle this fab dispute. There's just never a lack of drama in this league. As a commish who doesn't get paid, I'm getting a little sick of my job right now.
Listen, guys, you gotta give this guy a break. These little comments, man. Let me just explain this to you. It's just fantasy in football. There's no money on the line. All that's on the line is pride.
Yeah, lots of it. Lots and lots of
maybe
pride.
for every little, you could just give Sean a little heart emoji or 2 along with it.
Give some
Go a
hearts
long
in.
way.
Get some loves in there.
It does. A good heart emoji among men boosts morale.
I can see
It
it.
really does. It's really good for the soul.
This little awkward turtle moment right here. That's all we
awkward
got
as you
this
make
week. Well, guys, that's what we got for our 757 local talk. Hopefully, there's going to be more drama next week for
always is.
Sean to handle.
Always is.
But thank you guys for listening. And yes, you're part of our league. You should like and subscribe to everything we do.
Thanks,
Deuces.
guys.